Welcome to Karma's Harvest. Today we tell the story of a king who challenged the heavens to escape the grave, only to find that some treasures are better left untouched. This is the tale of the king who became dust. In the ancient kingdom of Oakhaven, there lived a ruler named King Alaric. His kingdom was prosperous, his coffers were overflowing with gold, and his word was law. But Alaric had a secret fear that no amount of wealth could soothe the fear of the end. He spent his nights staring at the flickering candles, realizing that his life, like the flame, would one day be extinguished. This fear turned into an obsession. He consulted alchemists, sorcerers, and travelers from distant lands, seeking the secret to eternal life. Finally, an old wanderer told him of the lacrima vitae, the water of life hidden deep within the forbidden grotto, guarded by the spirits of the earth. Ignoring the warnings that nature demands a balance for every gift, Alaric led his soldiers to the grotto. They cut through the sacred vines and silenced the guardians. At the heart of the cave, beneath a single beam of moonlight, sat a chalice carved from a single diamond, filled with a shimmering silver liquid. "With this I shall outlast the stars," Alaric declared. He didn't just take a sip, he drank the entire vessel, spilling the excess onto the cavern floor in his greed. As the last drop touched his tongue, the ground began to shake. A voice, ancient and heavy as a mountain, echoed through the chamber. "You asked for life without end. You shall have it. But remember, Alaric, life is not merely breath. It is the dance of change. Since you refuse to die, you shall no longer belong to the world of the living." Alaric laughed, feeling a sudden surge of strength. He walked out of the cave, heading back to his capital. But as the sun rose, he felt a strange stiffness in his joints. His skin, once soft, began to turn gray and coarse. His heavy golden crown felt as light as a feather, because his body was shrinking. He fell to his knees on a desolate beach near the palace. He tried to scream for his guards, but his voice was silenced, replaced by the sound of the crashing waves. His limbs fused together. His eyes, once sharp and commanding, became fixed and glassy. Within minutes, the king of Oakhaven was gone. In his place lay a small, unremarkable gray pebble nestled among millions of others on the shore. The first century was a torture of the mind. Alaric remained fully conscious. He felt the burning sun of summer and the freezing ice of winter. He watched from the ground as his soldiers searched for him, eventually declaring him dead and crowning a new king. He saw his palace crumble into ruins and his kingdom swallowed by the forest. He realized then the cruelty of his wish. He had eternal life, but he had no agency. He could see the beauty of a sunset, but he could not point to it. He could hear the laughter of children playing on the beach, but he could never join them. He was a prisoner of his own immortality. Thousands of years passed. Empires rose and fell like the tides. The ocean crept closer, eventually pulling the pebble the king into the depths. For centuries he rolled in the dark, cold currents, tossed against jagged rocks, his edges being slowly worn smooth by the relentless sea. He prayed for the end. He begged the universe for the very thing he once feared most, the release of death, but the water of life was potent. He could not break. He could not erode into nothingness. He was condemned to exist, a silent witness to a world that had long forgotten his name. One day, a young girl walking along the new shoreline picked him up. She admired his smooth, circular shape and his peculiar gray hue. For a brief moment, Alaric felt the warmth of a human hand again. "Look, Papa, a perfect stone," she said. She wound up her arm and threw him far out into the horizon. As he soared through the air, Alaric felt a flicker of the freedom he once took for granted. Then he broke the surface of the water and sank into the silent, eternal dark of the ocean floor. He is still there today, waiting, watching, living forever yet never truly alive. Greed is a seed that grows into a cage. We spend our lives running from the end, forgetting that it is the very fact of our ending that makes our beginning so beautiful.